Welcome to the 2021 DMV Written Practice Test. This test has 60 questions with explained answers that will help you prepare for the test. Before we get started, we want to tell you about our free DMV cheat sheet that is packed with tips to help you pass the exam on your first try. You can get it by clicking the first link in the description. Now let's get started. Question 1. When parking near a crosswalk, you must not park within A. 10 feet, B. 15 feet, C. 20 feet, D. 25 feet. The correct answer is C. 20 feet. When parking near a crosswalk, you must not park within 20 feet, as doing so will interfere with the normal flow of pedestrian traffic. Question 2. When parking, you are not permitted to park A. on a sidewalk, B. on a crosswalk, C. within an intersection, D. all of the above. The correct answer is D. all of the above. When parking, you are not permitted to park on a sidewalk, on a crosswalk, or within an intersection, as doing so will interfere with the normal flow of pedestrian or motor vehicle traffic. Question 3. A pentagon-shaped traffic sign indicates A. a regulation, B. a railroad crossing is approaching, C. a work zone is approaching, D. a school zone is approaching. The correct answer is D. a school zone is approaching. Motorists must recognize traffic signs by their shape and color, as these are often good indications of the message the sign conveys. A pentagon-shaped traffic sign indicates that a school zone is approaching. Question 4. When completing a passing maneuver, if there is oncoming traffic, you must return to the right lane when you are within A. 100 feet of the approaching vehicle, B. 200 feet of the approaching vehicle, C. 300 feet of the approaching vehicle, D. 400 feet of the approaching vehicle. The correct answer is B. 200 feet of the approaching vehicle. When completing a passing maneuver where there is oncoming traffic, you must return to the right lane when you are within 200 feet of the approaching vehicle. Failing to do so may result in a head-on collision. Question 5. When approaching a stationary emergency vehicle displaying lights, you must A. accelerate, B. change lanes to distance your vehicle from the emergency vehicle, C. pass along the right if it is safe to do so, D. pass along the shoulder if it is safe to do so. The correct answer is B. change lanes to distance your vehicle from the emergency vehicle. When approaching a stationary emergency vehicle displaying lights, you must vacate the lane nearest the emergency vehicle. Doing this will ensure that you do not interfere with the response of emergency personnel. Question 6. You may legally drive in any carpool lane on the freeway if A. you are carrying the minimum number of passengers shown on the sign, B. all other lanes are stopped with heavy traffic, C. it is between the hours of 7 p.m. and 7 a.m., D. it is free of traffic. The correct answer is A. you are carrying the minimum number of passengers shown on the sign. These lanes are used to encourage carpooling to reduce the number of vehicles on the highway. You must carry the designated number of passengers in order to use the lane. Question 7. The following flag person movement indicates A. you must reduce speed, B. you may proceed with caution, C. you must change lanes, D. you must come to a stop. The correct answer is D. you must come to a stop. Flag persons are often provided to stop, slow, or guide traffic safely through a work area. The provided flag person movement indicates that you must come to a complete stop and may not proceed until the flag person indicates it is safe to do so. Question 8. The following hand signal is used to indicate that the driver wishes to A. make a left turn, B. make a right turn, C. stop or slow down, D. travel straight. The correct answer is C. stop or slow down. Motorists may use hand signals when their turn signals are inoperable. The provided hand signal is used to indicate that the driver wishes to slow down or come to a stop. Question 9. Pedestrians crossing at intersection corners have the right-of-way A. only at controlled intersections, B. whether or not the crosswalk is marked, C. only when a crosswalk is marked on the pavement, D. only if the pedestrian is blind. The correct answer is B. whether or not the crosswalk is marked. There is a crosswalk at every intersection, even if it is not marked. Yield to pedestrians in the crosswalk space. Question 10. You are traveling on a road that ends at an uncontrolled T intersection, and another car is approaching the intersection on the through road. Which driver has the right-of-way? A. The vehicle that arrives first. B. The vehicle on the right. C. The vehicle on the road with the higher speed limit. D. The vehicle on the through road. The correct answer is D. The vehicle on the through road. The driver on the road that ends at the T intersection must yield to vehicles that are moving on the through road. Question 11. You are traveling on a freeway posted for 65 miles per hour, but traffic is heavy and moving at just 35 miles per hour. The best speed for your vehicle is A. 35 miles per hour, B. 30 miles per hour, C. 25 miles per hour, D. 20 miles per hour. The correct answer is A. 35 miles per hour. You should travel at the same speed as the flow of traffic unless it exceeds the posted speed limit. Question 12. The maximum speed limit for driving in ideal conditions is A. The speed at which you can maintain control of your vehicle. B. The speed at which most other vehicles are moving. C. The posted speed for the road or freeway you are using. D. Whatever speed allows you to maintain a 2-car length distance from the vehicle ahead of you. The correct answer is C. The posted speed for the road or freeway you are using. You may never drive legally above the posted speed limit. Question 13. Directions issued by school crossing guards must be obeyed A. At all times, B. During school hours only, C. Only when children are present, D. Only when a school bus is picking up or discharging passengers. The correct answer is A. At all times. A crossing guard is authorized to direct vehicular traffic whenever he or she deems it necessary to ensure the safety of children. Question 14. The maximum speed you may drive in any alley is A. 10 miles per hour, B. 15 miles per hour, C. 20 miles per hour, D. 25 miles per hour. The correct answer is B. 15 miles per hour. Alleys are narrow and may intersect with busy streets. 15 miles per hour is the maximum safe speed for driving in an alley. Question 15. Unless otherwise posted, the speed limit in a school zone when children are present is A. 15 miles per hour, B. 20 miles per hour, C. 25 miles per hour, D. 30 miles per hour. The correct answer is C. 25 miles per hour. This speed should enable you to stop safely for school buses and children crossing the street. Question 16. When a school bus with its red lights flashing is stopped ahead on your side of the road, you must A. Change lanes, reduce your speed, and proceed cautiously. B. Stop if it is during school hours. C. Stop until all children have left the bus. D. Stop until the lights have stopped flashing. The correct answer is D. Stop until the lights have stopped flashing. Only the bus driver can determine when all children are safe after boarding or leaving the bus. He or she will turn off the lights at that time, and you may proceed. Question 17. Which of the following vehicles must stop before crossing any railroad tracks? A. Vehicles driven by drivers under the age of 18. B. Tank trucks marked with hazardous materials placards. C. Motorhomes or pickup trucks towing a trailer. D. Sport utility vehicles carrying 4 or more passengers. The correct answer is B. Tank trucks marked with hazardous materials placards. You should look for these warnings on vehicles and be prepared to stop if you are behind one as you approach a railroad crossing. Question 18. You may cross double yellow lines to pass another vehicle if A. The yellow line immediately to the left of your vehicle is broken. B. You are traveling on a secondary road. C. The vehicle ahead of you moves to the right to let you pass. D. The yellow line next to the other side of the road is broken. The correct answer is A. The yellow line immediately to the left of your vehicle is broken. The broken yellow line marks areas of the roadway where it is safe to pass other vehicles. Question 19. You are moving on a 2-way road and the vehicle ahead of you is turning left into a driveway. You may pass the vehicle on the right, A. If there is a green light, B. Even if you must cross a solid white line painted on the road. C. Even if you must drive in a bicycle lane to do so. D. If there is enough road between the vehicle and the curb to allow you to pass. The correct answer is D. If there is enough road between the vehicle and the curb to allow you to pass. You may not drive off the road to pass another vehicle on the right. Question 20. Which of these statements is true about children riding in your vehicle? A. Children who are age 2 or older and weigh more than 20 pounds should ride in the front seat. B. The front seat is generally the safest place in the car for children 6 years of age or older. C. Children between the ages of 3 and 5 years of age should wear seat belts. D. Children under the age of 1 should not ride in the front seat in vehicles equipped with airbags. The correct answer is D. Children under the age of 1 should not ride in the front seat in vehicles equipped with airbags. Airbags deploy at a very high speed, and small children can be seriously injured or killed while riding in the front seat in this situation. Question 21. When driving a car equipped with airbags, you are safest when you A. Maintain a space of at least 10 inches between you and the steering wheel. B. Drive with one hand on the gear shift. C. Drive with your left arm on the armrest. D. Maintain a space of at least 8 inches between you and the steering wheel. The correct answer is A. Maintain a space of at least 10 inches between you and the steering wheel. If you are sitting closer to the steering wheel than this, you can be seriously injured when the airbag deploys in a collision. Airbags need 10 inches to inflate. Question 22. How does a solid red traffic light differ from a red arrow traffic light? A. Red arrows are only used to stop traffic making a left turn. B. You are not allowed to turn on a red arrow after stopping. C. Red arrows are only used for protected turn lanes. D. Red arrows are only used to stop traffic making a right turn. The correct answer is B. You are not allowed to turn on a red arrow after stopping. You must stop at a red arrow signal light and remain stopped until the light changes to green. Question 23. If the traffic light in your lane at an intersection is a red arrow, you may A. Turn in the direction of the arrow after slowing and checking for other traffic. B. Turn in that direction after you come to a complete stop. C. Turn in the direction opposite of the arrow. D. Not turn in the direction of the arrow until the light turns green. The correct answer is D. Not turn in the direction of the arrow until the light turns green. Because the arrow light controls a single lane of traffic, you may not proceed until the light is green. Question 24. You are planning to make a left turn from a dedicated left turn lane when the light turns to a yellow arrow. You should A. Be prepared to obey the next signal that appears. B. Speed up to get through the intersection. C. Stop and not turn under any circumstances. D. Use caution to make the turn. The correct answer is A. Be prepared to obey the next signal that appears. Any type of yellow light gives you time to prepare for the light that follows it. You should stop at a yellow light unless it is safe for you to do so. Question 24. You are approaching an intersection when the traffic signal is flashing red. You should A. Stop before entering the intersection and wait for the light to turn green before proceeding. B. Stop before entering the intersection and proceed when it is safe to do so. C. Continue driving cautiously through the intersection. D. Continue driving cautiously if you are making a right turn. The correct answer is B. Stop before entering the intersection and proceed when it is safe to do so. You must always stop at a red light whether it is steady or flashing. After yielding to pedestrians and traffic already in the intersection, you may proceed. Question 26. You must always stop for which of the following traffic signals? A. Steady red lights, red arrows, and flashing yellow lights. B. Steady red lights, flashing red lights, and yellow lights. C. Steady red lights, flashing red lights, and blacked out traffic signals. D. Steady red lights, steady yellow lights, and blacked out traffic signals. The correct answer is C. Steady red lights, flashing red lights, and blacked out traffic signals. When you arrive at an intersection where there is a red light of any kind or a non-functioning traffic signal, you must stop. If it is too late or unsafe for you to stop for a yellow light, you may proceed through the intersection, but you should clear the intersection as quickly as possible. Question 27. When you approach an intersection with a green light displayed, you notice vehicles already in the intersection. You should A. Partially enter the intersection to establish your right-of-way. B. Move into the intersection and wait for the traffic to clear. C. Stop before entering the intersection and wait until you can safely enter and cross the intersection. D. Reduce your speed and drive around any vehicles remaining in the intersection. The correct answer is C. Stop before entering the intersection and wait until you can safely enter and cross the intersection. Never enter an intersection unless you are certain that you can clear the intersection before the light changes. Question 28. If you arrive at an intersection where the traffic light is not functioning, you should A. Come to a complete stop and proceed when it is safe to do so. B. Stop before entering the intersection and let all other traffic move before proceeding. C. Avoid interfering with other traffic by making a right turn. D. Reduce your speed and stop if necessary. The correct answer is A. Come to a complete stop and proceed when it is safe to do so. Treat a non-functioning traffic light like a stop sign. Stop and check for pedestrians and other vehicles before continuing. Question 29. You are stopped at a red light. When the light changes to green, there are still vehicles in the intersection. You should A. Avoid the other vehicles by making a right turn. B. Move ahead only if you can go around the other vehicles safely. C. Enter the intersection and wait for the other vehicles to clear. D. Wait until all of the vehicles clear the intersection before you enter. The correct answer is D. Wait until all of the vehicles clear the intersection before you enter. Do not enter the intersection until all of the other vehicles have cleared it. They may be going in a variety of directions, and you could put yourself or other drivers in danger. Question 30. You should not enter an intersection if you know that you will block the intersection when the light turns red. A. Under any circumstances. B. Unless you entered the intersection while the light was yellow. C. Unless you are making a right turn. D. Unless you entered while the light was green. The correct answer is A. Under any circumstances. Do not enter an intersection unless you are certain you can cross it completely before the light changes. Question 31. What should you do if you encounter this sign? A. Come to a complete stop and check your surroundings. B. Slow down and proceed as long as there are no other vehicles around. C. Check for pedestrians and proceed if you do not see any. D. Tap your horn and proceed with caution. The correct answer is A. Come to a complete stop and check your surroundings. No matter if you see other vehicles, bicycles, or pedestrians around, you should always come to a complete stop when at a stop sign. Once you've stopped, follow appropriate right-of-way laws before proceeding. Question 32. What should you do if you see this sign? A. Come to a complete stop. B. Prepare to stop if necessary. C. Speed up to avoid collision. D. Prepare to turn around. The correct answer is B. Prepare to stop if necessary. Yield signs warn drivers that they should let other vehicles have the right of way. When you see a yield sign, you should slow down and prepare to stop if necessary. Question 33. What does this sign represent? A. You should not drive slower than 50 miles per hour. B. Your vehicle should not go any faster than 50 miles per hour. C. The average speed of other vehicles on the road is 50 miles per hour. D. 50 miles per hour is the recommended speed. The correct answer is B. Your vehicle should not go any faster than 50 miles per hour. You should always drive according to posted speed limits. This sign instructs drivers to travel no faster than 50 miles per hour. Drivers traveling faster than 50 miles per hour are breaking the law and are risking getting a speeding ticket. Question 34. If you see this sign, what should you do? A. Avoid turning left. B. Avoid making a right turn. C. Stop completely before turning right. D. Turn around and proceed with caution. The correct answer is B. Avoid making a right turn. A right arrow indicates a right turn. A right arrow with a red line drawn through it indicates that right turns are not allowed. Rather than turn right, you should proceed ahead or turn left if allowed. Question 35. What does this sign indicate? A. One way only. B. No left turns allowed. C. No U-turns allowed. D. No slowing down. The correct answer is C. No U-turns allowed. U-turns are useful when you need to travel in the opposite direction. However, this sign indicates that U-turns are not allowed. Rather than take a U-turn, you could turn to the left, turn around, and turn right in the direction you wish to travel. Question 36. What does this sign indicate? A. Divided highway ahead. B. Keep right. C. Keep left. D. Slippery road ahead. The correct answer is B. Keep right. This sign shows that there is an obstruction, such as a median in the middle of the road ahead. Vehicles should keep the right to avoid collision with the obstruction. Question 37. What does this sign mean? A. Stop sign ahead. B. Yield ahead. C. Traffic light ahead. D. Railroad crossing ahead. The correct answer is A. Stop sign ahead. This sign indicates that an intersection and stop sign are ahead. If you see this sign, slow down and prepare to come to a full stop. Question 38. What should you do if you encounter this sign? A. Accelerate through the intersection. B. Prepare to slow down or stop. C. Stop completely no matter what. D. Proceed only if no other vehicles are in the intersection. The correct answer is B. Prepare to slow down or stop. This sign means that an intersection and traffic signal are up ahead. You should be ready for an intersection and a stoplight, as you may have to stop if the light is yellow or red. Question 39. What does this sign represent? A. Right lane ends. B. Added lane. C. Divided highway. D. Merging traffic. The correct answer is D. Merging traffic. This sign means that traffic is emerging with the main road. If you are on the main road and see this sign, give entering traffic adequate space to merge safely. Question 40. This sign indicates A. Interstate 44 is ahead. B. The off-ramp leads to Route 44. C. The exit is 44 miles ahead. D. Go right to take exit 44. The correct answer is D. Go right to take exit 44. This sign tells drivers that they must exit to the right if they intend to take exit 44. Green guide signs are meant to give drivers guidance and direction to help them get to their destinations. Question 41. What does this sign mean? A. Exit to the right. B. Keep left. C. Right lane ends ahead. D. Accelerate until you reach the exit. The correct answer is A. Exit to the right. Green guide signs are present to help drivers know direction and distance to locations. This sign tells drivers that they should take the exit to the right if they want to travel to the indicated location. Question 42. This guide sign indicates the availability of A. Rest area. B. Wheelchair access. C. Hospital ahead. D. Handicap parking zone. The correct answer is D. Handicap parking zone. This sign indicates the availability of handicap parking zone. Only drivers with a disability and a valid handicap placard may park in these designated areas. Question 43. What does this sign represent? A. Driving time to various cities. B. Interstates leading to various locations. C. Number of minutes until you reach various cities. D. Driving distance to various locations. The correct answer is D. Driving distance to various locations. This sign tells drivers how many more miles there are until they reach various locations. For example, this sign indicates that there are 15 more miles until drivers reach Lamar. Question 44. What does this sign indicate? A. One way only. B. No left turns allowed. C. No U-turns allowed. D. No slowing down. The correct answer is C. No U-turns allowed. U-turns are useful when you need to travel in the opposite direction. However, this sign indicates that U-turns are not allowed. Rather than take a U-turn, you could turn to the left, turn around, and turn right in the direction you wish to travel. Question 45. This sign indicates that you are A. Required to merge, B. Driving in the wrong direction, C. In the wrong lane, D. Required to reduce your speed. The correct answer is B. Driving in the wrong direction. Wrong way signs indicate you are going against traffic and the chances of an accident or head-on collision are high. When encountering this sign on the road, you should always back up or stop. Question 46. What does this sign mean? A. Slippery when wet, B. Winding road, C. Curvy road ahead, D. Uneven terrain. The correct answer is A. Slippery when wet. This sign indicates that the road ahead becomes slippery during wet conditions, such as rain or melted snow. If you see this sign, you should slow down to account for slippery surfaces. Question 47. If a driver ahead of you is signaling in this manner, you know that he is A. Making a right turn, B. Making a left turn, C. Slowing down, D. Driving straight through the intersection. The correct answer is B. Making a left turn. This is the signal for making a left turn. Do not pass this vehicle on the left. Question 48. When driving in fog, snow, or rain, you should use your A. Low beam headlights, B. High beam headlights, C. Vehicle's GPS, D. Running lights. The correct answer is A. Low beam headlights. Increase other drivers' ability to see you by using your low beam headlights. High beam headlights can create glare in these conditions, making it more difficult to see what is ahead of you. Question 49. If you see this sign, what should you do? A. Brake immediately, no matter if a train is approaching or not. B. Speed up to cross the tracks and avoid getting hit by a train. C. Look for trains in both directions and be ready to stop if necessary. D. Slow down only if you see a train. The correct answer is C. Look for trains in both directions and be ready to stop if necessary. This sign, which indicates that a railroad crossing is immediately ahead, should tell you to slow down. You should look in both directions for trains and be ready to stop if necessary. Question 50. 3 of the most important times to check traffic behind you are A. Backing, changing lanes, or slowing down quickly. B. Backing, making a sharp turn, or crossing an intersection. C. Changing lanes, crossing intersections, or slowing down quickly. D. Backing, crossing intersections, or slowing down quickly. The correct answer is A. Backing, changing lanes, or slowing down quickly. It is logical to check traffic behind you when you are backing up, but you also need to know what is happening behind you when you change lanes. If you must slow down quickly, you must check to see how close the vehicles behind you are because they could crash into you. Question 51. Yellow lines separate A. Traffic lanes on one-way streets, B. All carpool lanes from regular traffic lanes, C. Freeway exits from regular traffic lanes, D. Traffic moving in opposite directions on two-way roadways. The correct answer is D. Traffic moving in opposite directions on two-way roadways. Drive to the right of the yellow line. Question 52. When looking ahead of your vehicle while driving, you should A. Scan your surroundings, B. Look straight ahead at all times, C. Keep your eyes on the vehicle ahead of you, D. Avoid looking in your rearview mirror. The correct answer is A. Scan your surroundings. Continuously check the entire area ahead of you to each side as well as the front in order to see any potential hazard. Question 53. A police officer is signaling you to drive to the edge of the roadway. You ignore the officer and flee the scene. You are guilty of a misdemeanor and may be A. Fined up to $1,000, B. Jailed in the county jail for not more than 1 year, C. Given a warning and a citation, D. Have your vehicle impounded. The correct answer is B. Jailed in the county jail for not more than 1 year. Always obey the directions of a police officer. Fleeing will generally result in a stiffer penalty. Question 54. If your car begins to skid on wet pavement, you should A. Slow down by shifting to a lower gear, B. Slow down by easing your foot off the gas pedal, C. Slow down by pumping the brakes quickly and firmly, D. Steer toward the right edge of the pavement. D. Steer toward the right edge of the pavement. The correct answer is B. Slow down by easing your foot off the gas pedal. Do not make any sudden changes in your forward motion, or you could lose control of your vehicle. Allow your vehicle to slow gradually by taking your foot off the gas pedal. Question 55. If you see this sign, what should you do? A. Avoid turning left. B. Avoid making a right turn. C. Stop completely before turning right. D. Turn around and proceed with caution. The correct answer is B. Avoid making a right turn. A right arrow indicates a right turn. A right arrow with a red line drawn through it indicates that right turns are not allowed. Rather than turn right, you should proceed ahead or turn left if allowed. Question 56. You may make a left turn on a red light only from A. One-way street onto a two-way street. B. One-way street onto a one-way street. C. Two-way street onto a one-way street. D. Two-way street onto a two-way street. The correct answer is B. One-way street onto a one-way street. Because left-hand turns made from two-way streets must cross other lanes of traffic, they cannot be made on a red light. The only condition under which you may make a left on red is from a one-way street onto a one-way street. Question 57. If you see a pedestrian in a mid-block crosswalk, you should know that A. The pedestrian must yield right-of-way to vehicles. B. Vehicles have the right-of-way but are legally responsible for the pedestrian's safety. C. Only pedestrians who are blind have the right-of-way in this situation. D. The pedestrian has the right-of-way. The correct answer is D. The pedestrian has the right-of-way. Pedestrians in a crosswalk always have the right-of-way. Allow them to finish crossing before proceeding in your vehicle. Question 58. The maximum speed limit for driving in ideal conditions is A. The speed at which you can maintain control of your vehicle. B. The speed at which most other vehicles are moving. C. The posted speed for the road or freeway you are using. D. Whatever speed allows you to maintain a two-car length distance from the vehicle ahead of you. The correct answer is C. The posted speed for the road or freeway you are using. You may never drive legally above the posted speed limit. Question 59. Cargo extending more than 4 feet beyond your rear bumper, A. Must be marked with red flags or lights. B. Is illegal under all circumstances. C. Is not permitted on freeways. D. Must be marked only at night. The correct answer is A. Must be marked with red flags or lights. If the load is not marked, another driver could crash into the cargo. Mark it clearly for the safety of all drivers. Question 60. You should not cross a solid double yellow line in the center of the roadway to A. Make a left turn. B. Pass another vehicle. C. Enter an alley. D. Enter a private driveway. The correct answer is B. Pass another vehicle. Do not cross double solid yellow lines to pass another vehicle. After yielding to through traffic, you may cross these lines to turn left into an alley, private road, or driveway. Thank you for watching this video, and remember to get your free cheat sheet by clicking the first link in the description. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and subscribe for more practice tests.